Hello there, and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. Today, it might not be so Hot Lap Classic as Wardrobe Lap Classic. This is the 1997 Suzuki Wagon Areo RS. I don't know where the Areo comes from, but there you go. Anyways, it is our first of a very big number of ridiculous key cars that are in this game. I very much like the Suzuki Wagon R. It's fantastic. It's a wardrobe with wheels, and in this case, a lot of power for this type of car. 190 horsepower, four-wheel drive, 713 kilos. Unfortunately, this is a car that in real life you'd love to bomb around in, but in-game probably won't be too quick. So it's going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Honda Civic SIR2, which set a time of a 30.779. Suzuki Wagon R Areo RS, very unlikely to beat that, because while it may have 190 horsepower, you might notice it's not particularly quick. It does handle exceptionally well, but yeah, it's not going to be massively quick around here. One wouldn't imagine, although first lap, not bad, 33.5. This car's competitors probably going to be stuff like the Plymouth Cuda, which had a time of 32.403, and I mean, the Polo set a time of a 32.277, and the Polo didn't have that much more power than this. In fact, it had less power than this, and it weighed 200 kilos more. But because the game doesn't really let these key cars do particularly well, I don't foresee a scenario in which the Polo or the Cuda really have too much to worry about, which is a big shame, because like I say, this thing in real life, 190 horsepower Wagon R, sign me up for that. It will result in your death, but sign me up for that. It's also got a pretty decent amount of torque, and yeah, it should do alright. So there's a bit of an interesting conundrum when it comes to cars like this, when it comes to the key cars. The four-wheel drive models, you'd think, especially if you're chucking 200 horsepower through them, would be quicker, but the honest fact of the matter is, oftentimes the extra weight by the four-wheel drive system isn't really worth it, so they may as well be front-wheel drive. This is a 5-speed, okay. Interesting. I was actually expecting this to be like an automatic with like a 4-speed, but no. That's pretty decent. But yeah, you'd expect four-wheel drive to like really help these things, but to be honest with you, it doesn't. Front-wheel drive, they drive just as nicely, so oftentimes the extra weight of the four-wheel drive system isn't worth the extra theoretical grip you get from four-wheel drive. So that's something interesting to note, and that will play a factor in which ones of these cars will be running racing modification and which won't. To be honest with you, the Wagon R, I mean, it's a hilarious vehicle, so a lot of them probably will be running racing modification. This actually comes in 4 different colour schemes, this amazing livery, which I really hope is real, but probably isn't. Comes in reds and greens and blues, and they all look equally ridiculous. 32.876 for this final lap. But then again, also some Suzuki Wagon Rs come in two-tone, which I'm not a man who can turn down two-tone very easily. I'm a big fan of two-tone, so yeah. Either way, it does not look like the Wagon R is going to impress us on this final lap, which is a big shame. It is going to go to the bottom of the leaderboard, but it definitely dealt with this track a lot better than I was expecting. A 32.876. Again, this is another, it's like the Cuda. I thought this car would be getting in the 33s, but no, it's done alright. I love that hood scoop on the front, by the way. That is hilarious. Let's just bask in its glory as it goes around the track. See, this is why I love Gran Turismo 2. Not only is there fantastic, ridiculous key vehicles like this, which again look like wardrobes and have one door on one side and 2 doors on the other side, which is hilarious, but you can racing modify them and give them like proper racing liveries. It says BP on it twice because British Petroleum really wants you to know they are powering this mighty Suzuki Wagon R Areo RS through thick and thin. Incredible. Anyways, it does unfortunately go towards the bottom of our leaderboard. 32.876 sends it to the bottom, but again, not as far down as I was expecting, and it's a bit too close to comfort for the CUDA. Could it have gone quicker? Again, there's probably a 10th in there, but I think that lap was actually pretty good, so there you go. Anyways, that's it for this edition of the Hot Lap Classic. Do hope you've enjoyed. Join us next time where I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.